Hi there, we're going to give you a quick tutorial on two hookups that will be important. If you haven't RV'd before, it's important that you know how to hook up city connection of water at the campsite and also your sewer line connection. So the first thing I'm going to show you, in the back of the vehicle there is a hose that's clamped up. This is your main line for water, both a female and a male part. If you go to the side of the cabin on the driver's side, you'll see a place that says city water connection. You basically just pop that off. You've got a female adapter, the hose just screws in, and then you'll hook up the other end to the city connection, which is the male end. One of the things we provide, you can check with the campsite, we normally recommend that you go ahead and still the water filter. It's in the bucket right here. The water filter, just to make sure the water with any impurities is cleaned out. The other thing I would ask the campsite is if you have any regulation issues, and it's probably a good thing just to be on the safe side, unless it's an established city connection. This is a water regulator that'll help to, if there's any large pressures, that it won't blow out your the baffles. So we recommend the order to replace this end. You can put the regulator right on the city water connection. That would be first. You hook up the water filter then to the brass fitting, and then the hose to the water filter. So it would go city connection to the actual regulator, to the water filter, to the hose, and then the hose to the actual connection on the cabin. So that's the first piece. Once you got the water hooked up, one thing that's important to remember is that you have a meter that's on the inside. Melinda will show you that. Basically the water pump, if you are hooked up to city connection, you want to make sure the water pump is actually off. You will not, with city pressure, you will not need to have any pump running. That is only if you're driving down the road, you want water pressure, whether cold or hot water, you can actually use that pump, engage that, and then you can actually have water running while you're traveling. So the other piece is, once you get to the campsite, is you want to do the good old job of hooking up your waste tanks. There's two tanks. There is both a black tank that controls all the sewage for toilet, and there's actually a gray tank that is for water. Black holds about 30 gallons, which is normal, and the gray tank is about 40-gallon tank. Remember that the hot water tank holds about 9 gallons, but as long as you have everything opened up, you're not going to have any issue because it'll always be open and engaged, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. So when you come to, I've got this hooked up now as if you were already hooked up to a campsite. So this is a cap that actually you'll travel with. You can see the groove notches. There's pins that are on the end of the tube discharge. You basically just line that up. The pins actually then slide around and lock in. Okay, that's how you'll be traveling at all times with all stops pushed down. Once you get to the campsite, the first thing you want to do is disengage the tube, take the cap off, and then in this bin, you have one bin that has a couple different things. It has the 20-foot extension tube. It's in a black bag. You've got a rack that actually allows you to keep this off of the ground. So you can see this extends off. It lays flat. And what you, I'll pull this out in a second. What it allows you to do is basically, hold on one second while I get this out. Show you real quick. It allows you to extend out and to use this as kind of a holder so the tube can actually fall and lay above ground. That just helps to get a good fall, so you'll be able to have waste flow through the tube. So once you get to the campsite, most places have anywhere from, they're usually within 10-15 feet. This tube extends, is extendable, so you shouldn't have any issues, and we do have an extension and a connection here inside the bin if you do need that. So the first thing you want to do is actually hook up the orange connection. Basically just the same way as a cap. You'll see that there's grooves here. They basically locks in. You'll know that it's there. Then in the city, on the city connection with regard to sewer that are provided at each campsite, there's usually grooves where this piece, orange end, comes off, it actually screws into the ground. You can see the threads that are on there. Once that's locked in, you can see the 4 notches that are on the tube. You can see this has 4 notches as well. You want to line up those notches and then just twist, and that'll lock it in. That way you've got a secure connection from the discharge end all the way to the sewer line. Remember to use the rack to extend that and keep it in as straight a line as you can with a good fall. You won't have any issues. At that point, you're basically ready to take the stops. There's a black tank, so you see the black stop. There's 2 black stops. There's one on this side of the coach on the driver's side, and I'll show you where the one is on the passenger side. So you want to walk around to the passenger side, and underneath there is a black stop. You always want to disengage this one first. This is right around the restroom. If you look underneath, there is a black stop just about 5 feet past the back wheel. You'll take this lever and basically pull this down, which will undo this release. So you'll release that one first. You'll come around back to the other side, and as we showed before, this is the second black stop. So you'll actually release this black stop as well. That'll give you free access then to the black tank. Everything that goes into the toilet will then be able to freely into this discharge tube. After the black is released, you want to release the gray. This is the gray stop. You'll basically pull that up. It will then disengage. This is the water that comes from the shower and the sinks in the room and just helps clean the pipes out. So again, after you're connected on both the end and at the line, after you got your tubes, you'll discharge the back end on the passenger side, release that stop, release this stop, and then at that point release the gray stop. Then you're good to go. Once you leave, basically in reverse order, what you want to do is run some additional water through the sinks to kind of get going. Then you'll go in the same order. You'll push the stop in on the passenger side. You push the stop in after you've got everything through and the tube is free on the driver's side, and then you'll push the gray water. At that point, you can take this off. What I recommend is to basically take your hose that you've got and run that. There's a hose extension that is in a separate bin, and will help you clean out that tube. It's basically, this hooks to your hose and allows you to stick this in, so you can see the entire piece that allows you to basically flush out the tube, and then you can basically put the tube back into the black bag that is in the bin along with the extra parts, and that'll all be cleaned up. Remember, then after you've shut both stops, passenger side and driver's side, and the gray water, you'll always want to make sure that you secure your cap back onto the end so that locks down. So you saw what the water connection was on this side. If you look right below the unleaded fuel, which this unit takes all the unleaded fuel, there is a door that has a key lock on it. This is your sewer water connection. You'll always want to make sure that before you get going that there's one manual stop on this side. You'll throw that and you'll take the key, lock that. It's always good in all these bins, whether it's the cabin bin in the back, there's 3 doors in the cabin bin, to make sure that the manual locks are thrown first, and then you can engage the lock and you're ready to go. Some additional things that we've got in the back for you, we always provide you with extra chairs. There is a large mat for outside. You've got additional sanitation pods, and she'll go over that with you during your trip. And then also in the second bin, we have, in addition to the one tube that we've got, we also got awning lights. So as you go through the video with the awning, you'll see that we have lights in there to help you on that end. The tables that are in the unit, they all come out. You'll see that there is a table on the passenger side, and also one on the driver's side. Those units come out, they're foldable tables. We also keep plenty of tools. Put this bin out there. We keep plenty of tools in the back bin, so you've got tool sets. We've got extra tools with stakes for your awnings, extra funnels, about everything you could use. Anytime you're out and about, if you're not familiar with this, and we'll, like I said, she'll walk through and provide you the video, you can always feel free to give us a call, and we can walk you through anything. Have a great day. Thanks.